Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining Candid Media every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. And thank you for sending your very valuable comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do hit the like button, share with your friends, and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thanks a lot for your support. So I'm sure that yesterday you must have watched the chat with Emma Venkatesh on many interesting sort of issues like Bollywood's sudden visit to Saudi Arabia and why they sort of and also the decreased prominence of Bollywood in especially that South Indian film industry is taking over, with popularity with films like RRR is becoming popular, and also the Kashmir Files has done remarkably well, while Bachchan Pandey and all those films have sort of flopped. Now, coming to the first piece of news is with regards to Mr. Anil Deshmukh. Now, on today, the CBI took Anil Deshmukh into custody from Arthur Road Jail in Mumbai in connection with the corruption case, as all of you know. Now, CBI had sought permission from a special CBI court to arrest Anil Deshmukh. The court had allowed the central agency to take Anil Deshmukh into its custody. And Anil Deshmukh has moved the High Court challenging the order of the special CBI court. A single judge bench of Justice Revati recused herself from hearing his plea. A special Prevention of Money Laundering Act court had ordered the superintendent of Arthur Road Jail in Mumbai to hand over Anil Deshmukh's custody to the CBI. Anil Deshmukh had also challenged this order. Last week, a special CBI court at Mumbai Sessions Court had allowed a probe agency to take custody of Sachin Waze, Sanjeev Palande, Kundan Shinde, and Anil Deshmukh in connection with the extortion case, in which four are accused of grossing a sum of rupees 100 crores per month. Now, accordingly, two assistants of Deshmukh, Palande and Shinde, along with Sachin Waze, were arrested by the CBI on 4th of April, as you know. The three were produced before special CBI court in Mumbai after their arrest, and the court granted CBI to take the three accused into the custody for 7 days. But the main accused in this case, Anil Deshmukh, was suddenly rushed to JJ Hospital after his health reportedly was, affected, and Deshmukh was discharged from the hospital. Following which, he knocked on the doors of the High Court to avoid his arrest by the CBI. However, the CBI arrested the former um, Home Minister on Wednesday. Now, Deshmukh was booked under sections 120B, which is criminal conspiracy of the Indian Penal Code, and section 7, which is public servant taking gratification other than legal remuneration in respect of an official act of the Prevention of Corruption Act. So he has been booked under sections 120B, namely, and section 7. Now, the ED had initiated a probe under money laundering charges against Anil Deshmukh, who was in trouble due to a letter written by Parambir Singh to the CM. Now, last year, the ED registered a case against Deshmukh and arrested Deshmukh. And so Deshmukh has filed a plea for bail in the High Court after Mumbai Sessions Court rejected his bail application. It is scheduled to be heard next week. So a lot of developments with regards to Anil Deshmukh. Now that he's under the custody of CBI, will there be a lot of revelations, especially with regards to the SSR and Disha case? Will there be any sort of revelations which will help the case of SSR and Disha? Now, some things I sort of came to some things came to my mind, and now why is Narayan Rane and Nitesh Rane, why are they keeping quiet? Like they said that they had proof of Disha Salian's murder in a video in a pen drive, and now after that there's no sort of news. Similarly, Patil is also quiet. He said he'll be revealing something big, with regards to SSR and Disha case. So, are these all a gimmick to sort of gain attention, or do you think they really have something solid which will help the SSR and Disha case? What is your opinion? Do let me know. So, hi Savitri, hi Nisha. Yeah, Kritika, Meena is on leave. Hi Kamal. Hi Yamini. Hi Karthik. Yeah, Savitri says all Nautanki. Absolutely. This is what even I think. It's all sort of gimmick to gain attention. Gain publicity, and maybe if an election is around, then they'll do some sort of action, and they'll see that they have this proof and that proof, which will sort of help in the case of SSR and Disha. Is Rane and gang only about creating sensations? That's a very good question, Voice of Press. That's what is like everyone is questioning, why they are not taking it forward, right? So, coming to the next piece of news is with regards to Salman Khan. And Salman Khan challenges summons issued by Mumbai court on journalist plaint in High Court. Now, apparently, Salman Khan has approached the Bombay High Court challenging the summons issued to him by a lower court in connection with the alleged misbehavior with a journalist in 2019. And Salman's plea will be heard by a single bench of Justice Revati. A civil court had last month issued process to Salman and his bodyguard, Nawaz Sheikh, and directed them to appear before the court on April 5th. The actor in his plea has sought the High Court to quash the lower court order issuing process, and has also sought for the process to be stayed by the way of interim relief. Now, journalist name is Ashok Pandey. He had filed a private complaint before the magistrate court seeking criminal action to be initiated against Salman Khan and Sheikh. Now, Metropolitan Magistrate R.R. Khan had on March 23 issued process to Salman and Sheikh after noting that a police report submitted in the matter stated that offenses under the Indian Penal Code, sections 504, which is intentional insult with intent to provoke breach of peace, and 506, which is criminal intimidation, are made out against the accused persons. Pandey had alleged that the actor had snatched his mobile phone while cycling on a Mumbai street when some media persons started clicking his photos. The actor had allegedly entered into an argument and threatened him, Pandey said in his complaint. The magistrate's court had earlier directed the police here to conduct an inquiry and submit a report. After perusing the report, the court held that there were sufficient grounds to proceed against the accused persons. The issuance of a process marks the beginning of the criminal proceedings before a metropolitan or judicial magistrate based on a complaint lodged by an individual. The magistrate court issues a process if it finds prima facie substance in the allegations made in the complaint. Once the process is issued, the accused persons have to appear before the court. So you can see that things are going, downhill for Salman Khan recently with, his neighbor Ketan Kakkad. Almost they have won the case, which Salman had filed against his neighbor Ketan Kakkad. So, and also, even his career is sort of, in big question mark that, he has, uh, like, he doesn't have any sort of hit film, or he does not have any, hit show. So things are finally going downhill for Salman Khan. Hi, Suparna. Except for true SSRians, no one has any interest and good intentions in the Disha murder case. I never trusted them in the first place. This is what Karthik says. Yes. Yamini says, absolutely. What made the Ranes to wait for so long to collect evidence? Everybody has their own political agenda. Absolutely, Yamini. Now, coming to the next piece of news is again with regards to Salman Khan. And Salman Khan's ex-girlfriend, Somy Ali, had recently posted a cryptic post on an Instagram account warning about the Harvey Weinstein of Bollywood. On 30th March 2022, she posted a photo on her Instagram handle, and which is a still image from Salman Khan's debut film Maine Pyar Kiya. In the caption of the photo, she wrote, "The Harvey Weinstein of Bollywood, you will be exposed. The women you abused will come out one day and share their truth, just like Aishwarya Rai Bachchan." And those Somy Ali did not mention who she was referring to her post. It is clear from the picture attached that she was hinting towards Salman Khan. The picture she had attached was from Salman Khan's debut movie Maine Pyar Kiya. She also tagged Aishwarya Rai, who was said to be in a relationship with Salman Khan. And after this, she compared, as you know, that she compared Salman Khan to Harvey Weinstein. For those of you who don't know Harvey Weinstein, he's an American film producer who was convicted of sexual abuse by many actresses in Hollywood. Now, interestingly enough, she deleted the tweet, very fastly. So now, why she deleted the tweet is also, maybe she might have been threatened, or like she also runs NGO. Somy Ali runs an NGO, and the name of the NGO is by the name No More Tears. And so Somy Ali runs an NGO named No More Tears, which is a Miami-based Volunteer 501 non-profit organization that provides immediate assistance to victims of human trafficking and domestic violence, including emergency shelter, basic survival needs, legal counsel, therapy, medical assistance, education, and job training. So this is from the website, and the name of her NGO is No More Tears, which sort of deals with victims of human trafficking. So, is there any sort of link with the reason why she deleted this particular post regarding Salman Khan, and is there any link with her NGO? So this could be, certain possibilities. So coming to the next piece of news is with regards to Allu Arjun, and as you know that Allu Arjun has had a very big hit film by the name of Pushpa. Now, recently, the Hyderabad police fined Allu Arjun as his Land Rover, Range Rover luxury SUV had tinted glass. Now, reportedly, the actor had to pay a small fine of rupees 700, and the car was stopped at a busy center in Hyderabad after the police noticed tinted window shields. For the So in 2012, the Supreme Court had passed a rule which prohibits using tinted glass as well as other alternatives like sun film in cars. So Somy Ali doing it all for her 2 minutes of fame. Yeah, Mira. Or could there be more to it? Like I told you that she runs an NGO which deals with victims of human trafficking. So there are a lot of links, hidden links. Yeah, Karthik says that starting an NGO is the easy way to fool people and swindle money. Yes, Karthik. Yes, Yamini. Dadaji giving open धमकी to Modi ji. Please be safe, Modi ji. कई लोगों के गले नहीं उतारे. Yes, Joshi. Karthik says Somy Ali was all over the place as Salman's girlfriend in '94. Sallu was obsessed with her and even gave weird statements to tabloids back then. I was living in Mumbai then and so remember. Okay, yeah, Karthik, you made a very valid point, and Salman Khan has been always borderline obsessive with his all his ex girlfriends, especially with Somy Ali, Aishwarya Rai, Katrina Kaif, and he has also fought with people, or those so-called Bollywood stars who have had some sort of romantic flings with his ex-girlfriends. So yeah. So coming to the next piece of news is with regards to how Bollywood film industry is really suffering thanks to things like the boycott Bollywood movement, and also due to COVID. Now, the first 3 months of the year 2022, it may have restarted a recovery for the film business after two devastating years of the COVID-19 pandemic. So now the Kashmir Files has done remarkably well, as you know, and it has gone about 300 crores. While films like Akshay Kumar's Bachchan Pandey has only had a lifetime collection of 49.88 crore rupees in the box office. And so this is what Atul Mohan, he is the editor of Trade magazine. He said that business in the first quarter can be termed just about average at best, though the Kashmir Files has been some sort of a saving grace. So this is what he remarked, and you can clearly see that people have now woken up, and that they have started appreciating really good films which promote Hindutva, and they have also shown the actual incident of what happened to the Kashmiri Pandits genocide, and you can see that Hindus are awakening all over India. And I do hope, with the Kashmir File success, that there'll be a filmmaker who will genuinely take a film based on the Mopla, genocide, and it will be something which will do remarkably well in places like Kerala, and there'll be another sort of awakening for the Hindus, especially in Kerala. So Maya says Bollywood is becoming like Congress, ready to be wiped out. Yes, Maya, and they are, they are killing themselves. They are sort of Bollywood is, sort of they support nepotism, and Congress also has nepotism in their party with, with the Gandhis. So there's a lot of similarities between Bollywood and Congress in that respect. Joshi, Tollywood reeks of nepotism, not just films. Any average company or industry is almost like a family business in AP and Telangana. Yes, Karthik, and there's a lot of nepotism in Telugu industry, and also there's a huge problem with the drugs in the film industry in Telugu. So I do hope slowly, all the film industries are cleansed, gradually. Moonchild, yes. All Arbas are watching. All Arabs are watching Bollywood. Yes. In fact, she won the Miss World pageant in November 1994. Literally, everyone was saying that the competition was fixed. And since Sushmita had won the Miss Universe, in fact, in one of the earlier talks which we had with a special guest in Candid Bean which is regarding the Beauty Queens contest and what happens. You can check that out in the playlist section. And they say that all the winners of the beauty contests are, sort of decided beforehand. And they are sort of, and a lot of hanky panky happens. And it is quite possible that, like all these events, especially with Aishwarya and Sushmita, there's a possibility that it could have been fixed. And but what I don't understand is that, like recently, Harnas Sandhu won the Miss Universe award, right? And now it is very apparent that she's sort of she was vocal in her support for Khalistani in the past, and now she is supporting the hijab, the girls who sort of wanted hijab in the schools, saying that it's up to the girls to dress however they want, in the school premises. So you can see how slowly she's voicing her sort of political agenda. you know Vijay Deverakonda is one actor who has become successful in Tollywood without anyone in the industry, but looks like success has gone to his head too. So, Karthik, from what I understand, that Vijay is an outsider and he doesn't have anyone in the film industry as a godfather. But maybe he might have listened to all the conditions which the Tollywood mafia must have, sort of. They must have set a sort of conditions to him that you should do all this, and that and you'll keep getting films and publicity. So that could be a possibility. And Savitri says she has become second Urvashi, showing off unnecessarily. Yeah, yes, Savitri. If you're talking about Harna Sandhu, yes. He was also supposed to be suppressed by nepotism, but luckily he had support of KCR family. Yes. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about Vijay Deverakonda, yes. Now, coming to the next piece of news is with regards to Modi ji and Sharad Pawar. Now, in a meeting with Sharad Pawar and Modi ji, the two spoke for about 20 minutes in Modi ji's office, and hours after the ED seized the properties of Shiv Sena leader Sanjay Raut's wife Varsha Raut, and a relative of Aam Aadmi Party leader and Delhi Minister Satyendra Jain in an alleged money laundering case. On what basis was action taken against Sanjay Raut? This is injustice. What's the provocation for action against Sanjay Raut just because he's making some statements? This is what Sharad Pawar told the media, and what he discussed with Modi ji. This morning, the CBI took custody of former Minister Anil Deshmukh, as you know, who's a senior leader of Pawar's party. Now, he also dismissed talk of any turmoil within the Shiv Sena NCP Congress coalition that he helped bring together in 2019 after the Shiv Sena broke up with BJP. Now, we will fight together in the next elections. The MVA, there's a stability. I'm answering these questions for the last 2.5 years. So I really think, like he's sort of, do you think there is stability within the MVA? Really? Now, significantly, the PM's meeting with one of the senior most opposition politicians in the country also took place months before the presidential election. Pawar again stressed that he was not ready to lead the UPA, a coalition that led by Congress ruled the country for 10 years. Sonia Gandhi is the chairperson of the UPA. I'm not ready to be the UPA chairperson, and we don't want to disturb the present setup. This is what Sharad Pawar said. So this is for the latest news for today. And so Sharad Pawar dumped BJP also, yes. Biggest mistake of BJP is to trust him. Yes, Kritika. It's funny how no time finally the poster girl of hijab issue has proven linked with terror organizations. Today, ISIS statement was a bit much. Yes, Moonchild. In fact, Al Qaeda chief Dr. Ayman al Zawahiri, he sort of issued a video statement, praising this girl called Muskan, who protested for favor of hijab in school premises, and he called her as a noble woman of India. So you can see that Muskan got praise from an Al Qaeda chief. So you can see where the sort of possibly the funding also could be coming for all these sort of movements, especially the farmers' agitation, and the hijab and all those things. Yamini, at the back, I was working for a company, except for me and other person. Everyone was hired only through family recommendations. So, Karthik, so apparently nepotism also exists in the corporate setup in Hyderabad. Even nowadays in college, children who have left mentality are glorified. In Kashmir, a Hindu girl was beaten up by a teacher for applying tilak on her forehead. The teacher has been suspended. Yes, Vasant ji, and the Kashmir Files has, in fact, woken up a lot of the Hindus, and in fact, many cases have been reopened, especially against Bitter Karate, who was responsible for the genocide, and also, the other terrorist, so who had the photo with Manmohan Singh. So things are moving in the good, positive direction after the Kashmir files, and let's hope that you know some of the Kashmiri Pandits are relocated back to their houses in Kashmir. I do hope that the government takes the correct, decisive actions in this regard. Um, Karthik says nepotism pervades all over in the Telugu speaking states. Quite interesting. The time AP and Telangana were combined state, but the situation has even become worse than in separate state. And I recently heard that Urdu has become the second language in Telangana. Mr. Fresher, all competitions are won by them. Mira says Congress MLA from Mumbai, Zishan Siddiqui, flew down to Karnataka to give Muskan, the hijab pro girl, an iPad. So you can see all these sort of interlinked. There are sort of anti-Indian forces inside the country, especially outside the country. So we are fighting a two and a half war. India is fighting a two and a half war. A lot of forces which are working against India because India is a sort of threat for other world economies because we have the potential to become the number one economy, and that is, troubling a lot of countries. And sort of, they are forcing us to take a stand, especially in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. These heroes in Tollywood make movies once in 2 to 3 years. I don't get how they make such luxurious life. Yamini, your guess is as good as mine. There's a lot of you know nefarious activities, be it Bollywood or any wood in South India for that matter. And in fact, in that note, also like what has happened to Jacqueline Fernandez and all those money laundering sort of alleged sort of things on her, especially with her connection with Sukesh Chandrasekhar. There has been no sort of further follow up in that regard in the media, and the media has gone silent on that. And especially with Arnab Goswami in Republic, he is not sort of debating anything against Bollywood. He is not questioning Bollywood, and I don't know what's the reason. None of his debates in the recent past times has sort of questioned Bollywood celebrities. Apparently, some people say there's a court order against him by many production houses in Bollywood, and that's why he's not sort of taking up the topic. So Moonchild says funding from Congress. Unfortunately, it is known fact about a sad state of Karnataka. Yes, Moonchild, and especially in my opinion, the present CM of Karnataka is a brilliant person. Bommeji, he is doing a lot of bold decisions, which is previous chief ministers of Karnataka, they were quite shy, to implement all these decisions. But he is doing a brilliant job at the moment. So, friends, if you like the video today, and if you do give a thumbs up by hitting the like button, and share it with your friends, and tell your friends to sort of voice their opinions in the comments about this video. And a good evening to all of you. Thank you.